And we're back for another round of That's Debatable. And today we'll be tackling whether a single adult really needs $106,000 a year to live comfortably, if Mandela Barnes is truly the Democratic frontrunner in Wisconsin governor's race, and two hypothetical bills we would sign or veto: a nationwide social media ban for kids under 16, and whether Wisconsin schools should be required to adopt a 4-day school week. These are just some of the topics we'll be tackling today on this month's episode of That's Debatable with Ben and Emily. For DrydenWire.com, I'm Ben Dryden. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, North of 8 Design and Marketing founder, Emily Gall. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. That felt like the world's longest intro. I'm sorry.
I know it. And it was like one just run-on sentence. It was just terrible.
No, I loved it. You forgot to mention the most important thing we're going to be talking about, which is, do you or do you not actually like turkey?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Was it JD Vance?
Yes.
Did I see that? That it's like,
Yes.
nobody likes turkey, and here's how I know,
Yeah.
because you never eat it unless it's Thanksgiving. I tell you this. So for Thanksgiving, we went to my daughter Grace's, who's our assistant editor at DrydenWire. We went to her house. All of our family met there, and her husband made a deep fried or a fried turkey or deep fried turkey.
Yeah.
Never had one of those before. Holy cow. That is legit. Have you ever had that?
No.
Juicy.
No.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, we'll see.
So
if
yeah,
we can
do I
do
really?
that.
Yeah, I do. I think I mean, I like gravy and everything else on it. I mean, I just couldn't eat like a turkey without a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
you?
I just thought that was so funny. He seemed really passionate about everybody's lying about turkey.
He
Um,
did seem passionate about it.
I think it's just like the amount of food that a turkey makes that you don't need to do that unless you're like hosting some type of event. I think that's why it comes up like only at holidays, like a whole turkey. But like I love me a turkey sandwich. So
That's true. So how was
yeah,
your Thanksgiving?
it was good. It was really good. My sister hosted, so I said we're not bringing nothing. So my only job was to do the dishes, and it was wonderful.
Oh, pfft. Okay, so I have a
Yeah,
whole bunch of sexist jokes, but I'm not going to bring any of those up right now. Uh,
Brian, help!
let's let,
Brian, help do the dishes.
we can kind of move on from that. Hey, speaking of Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
this kind of kicks off the holidays, right? With Christmas coming up, let me ask before we get into the actual stuff we want to talk about. Again, the minimum 106,000 a year to live comfortably. I don't understand that. Um, but Christmas is coming. We're right in the middle of the holiday season. What do the holidays mean to you?
I look at the holidays with like a total nostalgia. Like I think about being a child and like my all my aunts and uncles at my grandparents' house and like staying up what probably felt like, to midnight playing games with them, but it was probably like 8 p.m. But you're so little, it just feels so late. So it's like that magic of like family to me
Yeah.
that really, really does it. I think it's absolutely like commercialized. Like I also will be honest, like I love seeing my kids rip through wrapping paper to see something that they've wanted. Um, but yeah, I think like mine is like totally like, and you know this, I'm not a religious person at all. So mine is like just family time, quality time, and then a little sprinkling of fun gifts. How about
Like
you?
the same family,
Yeah.
right? Absolutely, and obviously we are a family of faith, so there's always a component of that to it. But no, it's just a wonderful time to be with family and to appreciate everything that you have and to think about others, because the second commandment, a biggest commandment, not like Old Testament 10 commandments, but like it says in Matthew and in Mark, is to love thy neighbor as yourself. That's the second
Yep.
biggest commandment. And this is a time where we can do that, or we're reminded to do that, because throughout the year you just get so busy and you got work, you got kids and all this. So I kind of like that part too. But I love the holidays. I love being with family. If I'm not working, I'm with family. Unfortunately, the former requires a lot of time, so I don't get to do a whole lot of the latter. Uh,
Yes. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I know I talked about this before, but like I grew up kind of without a lot of excess. Good morning, Renee. It is cold outside. Um, and so now like the lifestyle that we live, like back then Christmas was like a big thing because like we could never just get stuff at the store like
right.
throughout the year.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then we had so many kids. Like I have five sisters. And so Christmas was really this time where like, oh my gosh, we got things. Like we
Yeah.
never got things.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit different with my kids because we're doing a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So like if my kids are nice and we go to the store, I'll spend $10 on them. I'll get them like the little things here and there. And Lunchable, like they can have any food they want. I remember freaking out because my parents wouldn't buy me a Lunchable once at Economart. I remember kicking and screaming in the hallway because all I wanted was a Lunchable, and we couldn't do it. But now we can do it. So the magic of like the gifts is a little bit different, I
Yeah.
would say. But how what a blessing, honestly.
It really is. I remember same thing. We didn't really, well, I told you before what my dad piece of advice he gave to me. It's not what you make, it's what you spend. And we just never spent money on anything. Like I'd go to friends' houses and they'd have like cans of soda. I'm like, you can have soda in your house? That's crazy. And I'd play basketball like I was in eighth grade or ninth grade. I went to basketball and I got these Pomida specials. And everyone else has got
Oh, I love
Nikes and all
Pomida.
that stuff. I know it.
Did
I'm
you
like,
guys ever
how
have to
come we
do?
don't get nice stuff?
I know. Did you guys ever have to do the Pomida layaway?
I don't know if my parents did. I would assume
Oh,
so. Whatever happened to layaways?
well, now it's buy now, pay later.
Oh, well.
They've switched it.
Speaking of, it's not what you make, it's what you spend.
Yeah.
You sent me a text the other day, and this is our first topic under That's Debatable. There apparently this came out that a single adult with no kids needs a
Hmm.
minimum of $106,745 a year in salary to quote live comfortable unquote in the United States. Do you agree, or is that debatable?
I think it's debatable. Good morning,
And
Mike.
okay, and what are your thoughts? What is your take on it?
Well, I think it all stems from what does comfortable mean to you, Ben?
Good point.
What does that mean? Like, is it taking vacations? Is it being able to buy Oreos and not chocolate sandwich cookies?
Yeah, there's a lot
Like,
of
what?
unknowns with this, right? Like what? I mean, Boston and Chicago, maybe,
Yep.
but in Wisconsin, $106,000 a year if you're single with no kids to live comfortably. You're right. I mean, what does that mean? And what age group is this? Is this
Right.
23 and you don't own a house and you want to buy a house now? Well, 106,000 a year probably wouldn't even do it.
Mhm.
Do you want a new car? There's so many factors that go into it. But yeah, the biggest one, you're right, is what does live comfortably mean? I would think that means you're able to pay your bills and have
Mhm.
money to either invest or put away. I would assume that's it, but no, I think that's absolutely debatable, and I think that's crazy. 106,000 a year, that's like $50 an hour, $2,000 a week, and $9,000 a month. Now after taxes, that would be like 1,500 a week and about $6,500 a month. Dude, $6,500 a month to live comfortably. I mean, geesh, that's good living.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
I did a little bit of digging, so that's about a $75,000 like take home at 106 salary in Wisconsin.
Okay, yep.
Okay, but then start thinking about this. How expensive things have been. I think you and I are really lucky that like we've planted ourselves, we probably have paid for our vehicles already and like or we got them when the interest rate was lower. But like if you like right now, if you were starting out, like the average and you bought a house, the average amount you're going to spend is about like $20,000 a year. So just did some quick averages in Wisconsin for this. Um, Health insurance, right? How much is that going to cost? A middle plan for health insurance. Crash is happening now. Oh, that's why I keep telling my sister not to buy a house right now. They're going to
Yeah,
go
don't
on
buy a
sale.
house right now.
They're going to go on sale.
On sale. Yeah, I noticed that real estate agencies they don't say sale. It's now a price improvement.
Oh,
It
yes. But
yes,
for who?
price improvement. Yeah, exactly. For whom?
Yeah.
I know it.
Um, but we've got health insurance to think about. You've got I think living comfortably definitely means like a retirement situation or like being able to like put money away. We've got what else? Like utilities, a car payment, student loans. Like if you're making $106,000 a year, you're either like a plumber or you went to college for something, right? Like
Could be.
I'm making generalizations there,
Yeah,
but
my daughter, she second oldest daughter, Annalise, she's 22 in Eau Claire. She has an apartment, $950 a month. She has a car. She's probably a paycheck to paycheck person, but she's also 22 and she's making 39,000 a year. I wouldn't say that's living comfortably. I would say that's getting by and doing fine. But I don't know. I look at like 65 grand a year. I think that would be that's 65 grand a year would be $4,000 a month after taxes. I mean,
okay.
that seems to be a reason. I mean, that's pretty decent. If Anna went from 39 to 65 grand a year, yeah, she'd be like, "This is awesome." But again, like my dad
But
always said, it's not what
automatically,
you make, it's what you spend. If you can't live off of like, $4,000 or $5,000 after taxes a month, I don't know. You need to sort out your priorities. What are you spending your money on?
I think you're automatically saying that these folks are excluded from the housing market. I
Well,
think
again, it
at
kind
a,
of depends on the age. But if you're single and 22, you don't need a house. What do you want a house for?
to build wealth, stability. I bought my first house when I was 20.
Got a girl.
Yeah, yeah, for
Were you
like the stability of
were
it.
you single?
No, no. Brian
Oh,
and I
all
were.
right. Well, that's a little different. But yeah, 106,000 a year. That's debate. We could argue all day long. Or go not argue, but we could debate all day about what that number is. But I think we both agree 106,000 a year would be wonderful. But is that really? That seems high. It just
Yeah.
does. I would put it between 65 and 75 to quote unquote live comfortably.
Mhm.
But again, depends on your age. I'm assuming you're not buying a house today. But if you had a house 6 years ago,
Mhm.
you're doing fine.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Like I would love to make $106,000 a year right now, right? Like I don't. Um, but like I'm able to make it work because I bought my house at a good time.
Yeah.
I, you
So
know,
bide your time, get an apartment, and
yep.
yeah,
I
yeah,
bought my, I paid
106,000.
off my
That's
car, stuff like that. Like
yeah,
like $106,000 would be incredible. But at the same time, if you're just starting out and you're making $65,000 a year and you're on your own and all you see all the time is all the prices going up, right? Prices don't come back down.
mm.
Um, if you don't move now and buy that house, even though maybe you can't afford it, it's only going to get more expensive.
Oh, you said
There's
it was
no
going to go on
guarantee.
sale.
I hope it goes on sale. I mean, I hope it doesn't go on sale. But like this is also being selfish. This is the house that I like I'm gonna trip on that rug and die when I'm 85. So like I'm never moving. So what the housing market does, I'm
All
over it.
right, all right. What's our second topic for that's debatable?
Um, we want to talk about Mandela Barnes, but I need to
Oh,
let you take the lead on this one because I have to be
oh,
honest, I don't know too much about him. I just
all
know
right. Where's our question? So the question is: Mandela Barnes has entered the governor's
yeah.
race and is considered by many as the Democratic front runner. Agree or is that debatable?
Again, I don't know much about him. What I do know is that he's very charismatic. He is an opposite to a Tom Tiffany, right? So like presumably he's gonna be the front or he's gonna be the Republican nominee. And so in that way, I see him as a front runner for sure. But I know he didn't win against Ron Johnson,
It came
which scares
pretty
me. That's
close.
yeah, but Ron Johnson is not my cup of tea, and I don't think it would be too difficult to tell people to convince people to vote for somebody else. So the fact that he lost that statewide race in a very purple state against an opponent who I think has a lot of weaknesses makes me nervous.
Well, I don't think it's debatable that he is considered the front runner right now because right now it's really about name ID.
Yes.
And I think he has more name ID. In fact, I would say that more people know who he is as the former lieutenant governor than I think if you ask 100 people or even 10 people right now who is the lieutenant governor,
Yeah.
maybe four would be able to answer that. They don't even know the current lieutenant governor is, who is running for governor as well.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I don't think it's debatable. He is the Democratic front runner immediately. And you're already seeing, you just mentioned Congressman Tom Tiffany, who's the one of the two Republicans running in well, on the Republican ticket.
Mhm.
You're already seeing some posts from him I noticed yesterday.
No,
Look, and that tells you something, right?
it
He's
does.
not doing
Yep.
that against Francesca Hong or some of the others or Sarah Rodriguez as much. So I think that they even kind of look at him as that threat. Now, of course, you brought up something interesting. He lost that race. How much ultimately what it's going to come down to, and we'll every month when we do these shows, we'll continue to talk a little bit about the governor's race because that's coming up and that's going to be a huge topic in Wisconsin. But how many people of those donors that donated him before that he lost are they going to be a little gun shy this time? It's
Yeah.
really going to come down to a lot of money. But do you think from the people that you talk to, your Democrat friends, do they like Barnes or is it a Francesca Hong or is it others or are most people still undecided?
I don't hear a lot. I think people locally like Sarah because she's made an effort already to come up north. And so she's been at some like Democratic like events and things up here. And people are loyal, right? So like if you're the first one in,
Yeah.
it's yeah, people will sort of cling on to you. I love me some Fran Hong, honestly. But I have to think about it's not New York City, right? It's a Democratic Socialist in a statewide election. It's going to be really difficult. Now, maybe Mom Donnie will do a great job in New York City and people will feel more comfortable
Mm.
about his ideas, but I just don't. I adore her. I think she'd really shake things up. Um, but ultimately, I think that on what I'm hearing on the Democratic side is a lot of like kind of wait and see. Um, and it hasn't been that long since Mandela announced, so I haven't really heard much
Yeah,
chatter
like
there
2 days
either.
ago.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody knew that he was going to, get in
yeah,
into the race, but yeah, it still is early. But again, I do think that he is the front runner now, simply because of name ID. I think if you put, I think there's what 6 now total because one person dropped out. That beer vendor guy, I think he
oh
dropped
yeah.
out and endorsed. I think it was Crowley. But if you put the all the 6 Democrat names up there, I would assume right now that Barnes would be the one that more people would know than anybody else. So therefore, by default, he is the front runner. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this shakes out a little bit.
Yeah, I what I thought was really funny too, because I was looking at some of what Representative Tiffany had put out there about Mandela Barnes, and one of it I just have to point it out because I thought it was the funniest thing. Was like it was like a list of like all the if he wins he's gonna give driver's license to illegal immigrants and like just this like really sensationalized kind of stuff, in my opinion. But also in there was he's gonna bring climate friendly policy, or I'll get the lingo wrong, but something about he's gonna bring climate friendly policy to Wisconsin. And in my head, I'm like,
That's
I
that's a
mean,
that's a good thing.
that's not a bad thing. Like we can be reasonable about how we institute some of these things, but it should not be like that's just a bad thing to care about the climate. So I thought that was really funny. Anyway.
I did get. I saw that he had put some things out, but I didn't actually read through what they were. But just scrolling through it, I'm like, oh, and there's this.
Yeah.
And my takeaway was that okay, Congressman Tiffany must be taking this person
Yeah.
as this because I don't see him doing that for Franny Hong, right?
Yep.
I don't see
Absolutely.
him doing that. All
Yeah.
right, let's move on. We have 2 things for our sign or veto. So I
Mhm.
just want to be very clear. These are hypothetical. Don't call your congressman, your assembly representative, or your senator and
They
tell
get
them,
enough call.
yeah, right. These are hypothetical. This is just for just an exercise. Um, these are not real things, but
Yeah.
one of them is real. So the first one, but it's not an actual bill here. But this is about social media ban. So Australia's social media ban for under 16-year-olds takes effect next week, December 10th. Requires platforms to prevent accounts from this age group. So essentially, if you're under
Yep.
16, you can't have TikTok, YouTube. You can't be signed
Mhm.
into that. Obviously, you could probably still access it, but you can't have a Facebook page, an Instagram, etc. So, sign or veto a bill requiring a social media ban for kids under the age of 16 in the United States. Would you sign or veto that?
I would veto it
Because
because when I was 12, I was really into Harry Potter, and to get into like the Pottermore universe, you had to be 13. And so I made a new email account and I said I was 13, and then I logged in and I got to spend time in the digital world of Harry Potter. I'm a big fat nerd. It's totally fine.
I love Harry
Um,
Potter. No, I do too.
it's just fun. Um, so I don't know if this is going to solve the problem. I think the problem is digital literacy. I think the problem is teaching our kids early how to navigate social media, the internet in general, social media, what's good for them, how to self regulate. I think that's sort of the crux of the
Mm.
issue versus like, oh, at 16, sorry, you can't have this until you're 16. It just seems like, did that work with, does banning thing, ooh, Second Amendment argument. You can ban guns, but is that going to keep people from having them? You can ban social media. Is it going to keep people from using it? Or kids from using it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I would also veto that. I like it in the concept of it and what it's trying to accomplish. And
Mhm.
we'll see how this works in Australia in 5 or 10 years from now.
Mhm.
And maybe you and I could be having a different conversation and going, oh my goodness, maybe grades have gone up. But similar to you, this is a parental decision. And I'm not a real big fan of government getting in the way of that stuff. This is, yeah, parents, you have to decide. Like with our kids, we had very strict rules. When we finally did allow them to have it, then we have like Life 360 on it. We have this other thing where we can see every text that they send and
Mhm.
everything that they go to, and they're aware of it. It's like so, it's not a secret. And then there's strict screen times, and you can't have it in your rooms and at night because we don't. I mean, but that's a parental decision. Unfortunately, you can't fix parents. I think most parents are good, but there are some that just don't care, and it's like a babysitter, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But that could be true for like TV or video games. I just don't like the regulation of that stuff. That should be a parental decision, so I would veto that.
Yeah. Do you ever worry? So my kids are on, like, your youngest is probably about the age of my oldest.
Right?
Um, do you ever think sorry, this is kind of off topic, but do you ever think about like those parents when something terrible happens to their kid, um, and they say they didn't know, right? And it was like bullying on social media, or I think about that with my son all the time. Like if he's acting a little bit off or a little bit sad, I'm always like, what are you doing on the internet? Like that's my first go to. Like, is somebody bullying you? Are you,
Good for you.
deep in algorithms that are gonna red pill my 13-year-old? Are you, like, that's always my first go to, and I wonder if that's a normal thing or like a something weird that I do.
Well, if that's what they're spending, it'd be no different if they were didn't you have any social media and they were spending all this time, like every day after school, your oldest is out with friends, and you all of a sudden see a different behavior or an attitude. Well, that's the first thing you're going to say. You're not going to be asking about the internet. It's going to be like, okay, so who were you hanging
Sure.
out with last night? So I think that's just normal, right?
Good
What are they spending their time on? And if you see a different or a change in their behavior,
Yeah.
that would probably be the place to go to.
Yeah, it really ties into what we talked about. I think it was last month too, on like cell phone bans. Like my opinion on that is
Yeah.
kind of the same, like bans in school. Like we have to teach our children how to be responsible, like users of the internet and of technology. And I think that just taking something away doesn't really accomplish that. So that's where I stand. Veto for
I
sure.
want to go back. You said I've heard this before. You had said red pill. What is
Yeah.
that? I've never understood what that was.
It's like red pill content is like very much anti-feminism. Um, I think it's under the guise of conservatism, but I think it's sort of like not fair because I think it's just bad people doing this red pill content. Like if you're not being liked by girls, the girls are the problem. You're not the problem. Women have too many rights. They should stay at home. They shouldn't be able to vote. We should only have a head of household vote. Like there's all sorts of like little.
These are all wonderful talking points. These are great. What is this? Where can I sign up?
Ben,
Okay, I'm kidding.
Um, if you come back next show and you're spouting some of this, I'll know that you've been red pilled. But yeah, it's
Red
it's
pill.
just kind of gross, sort of like I'll use the word patriarchy, but it's even like farther than that. And it's so
Okay.
easy for kids and boys with insecurities to get sort of sucked into that rabbit hole of content. And you know how algorithms work. Like they just show you what they know you like.
Yep.
Until,
So you keep going back on the platform. It's a business. Social media is a
yeah.
business,
Oh my gosh.
and
I
they're
wish
not
people.
about educating you. They're about showing you what you
No.
like.
Yep. Absolutely. That's why, like, when you use social media, we should talk about this on a different one, but when you use social media and you see like a headline that sounds crazy, like my favorite thing to do, my algorithm knows that I'm a left leaning person. Leaning, I'm a leftist. um, and so I'll get like a headline that's like sounds really sensational about like some terrible thing some Republican is doing. Well, then it's my job to go to Fox News and see if they're talking about it, see how they're talking about it. And typically, what I know now as I get a little bit older is the truth is somewhere between those two, right?
Yeah, but not a lot of
So,
people do that. Yeah, algorithms. That's a bizarre. Yeah, we'll table that one. We'll put a pin in that one because that would be a
okay.
good topic. Our
Yeah.
next on our signer veto. Uh, so I saw and this came up because a couple days ago I was watching the news and it was in Superior Duluth area and I can't remember where it was. It was either Ashland or maybe it was a county in Duluth or
Mhm.
in Minnesota. Was talking about a 4-day school not work a 4-day week for public
Yeah.
school, and apparently you can do that. Um, a school district they can do that. You don't have to like pass a law, but we're gonna like pretend that this is when we get to it. But I'd never really looked into it before, and I asked you before the show if you would kind of look at some pros and cons and see if you can have a list of pros and cons up for it. Um, so before we get to the sign or veto, let's just discuss what are some of the pros and cons of having a 4-day school week, and do people want a 4-day school week? What are the goods and the bads of those? Do you have anything up?
So, no, I didn't have
Yeah,
enough time because I have
I can
to.
look it up.
Well, my coffee takes a while to make, and so I'm just going to wing this. Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number one, work schedules. We have built school to mirror, for the most part, people's work schedules, 9 to 5s, right? After school activities, bus rides home, like so that parents can work. Um, Not every parent has the luxury of a remote job. So for somebody like me, a 4-day work week would just be, or a 4-day school week would be fine because my kids would be home on Friday and maybe I'd get a headache or two, but I could do it, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I think about. I also think about the kids who school is their stable place, is the place that they get their meal, their breakfast, their lunch.
What is
Is
that noise?
That's my coffee maker. It's almost done.
Coffee maker.
It's like 5 years old. That's the last time it's ever going to do that.
That's awesome.
Uh, Sorry. So yeah, I think about like we always worry about kids on summer vacation if they're going to get the nutrition that they need
Yeah.
or this, that, the other thing, the stability that school provides them. So those are sort of the cons in my
Well, I'm
opinion.
going
What
to run
cons?
through. So I just put it into AI. Here are the
Yep.
pros. Teacher morale. Well, duh. So by the way, you still have to. It's not like they're going to take away class time. It just means
Mhm.
Monday through Thursday. It's longer, which I
Yeah.
think kind of what you're referring to. It kind of mirrors an 8 to 5 schedule for a
Mhm.
parent instead of getting off like 3 o'clock or whenever your school district lets out. And maybe a parent doesn't come home until 5, and there's that 2-hour gap there. So it's just 4 longer days, and then Friday is off. Here's pros, says teacher morale, which would make sense, right? One less day without kids. Teachers may experience less burnout and have more time for planning and professional development, which could improve job satisfaction. Second thing, student and family time. Families have more time for activities, appointments, and rest, which could improve student mental and physical health. The third of the 4 pros is scheduling. It can be easier for students and parents to schedule appointments on the off day. I don't think that's that big a deal, but okay. And then operational savings. School
Yes.
districts can experience modest savings on utilities, transportation, and building operations. Those savings may not be substantial. So, okay, there we go. And then there's cons. There's 5 of them here. It lists longer school days to meet instructional hour requirements. The remaining 4 days have longer school days, which can be difficult for younger students or those with attention challenges. Didn't think about that. Child care challenges. Families, particularly those with lower incomes, may struggle to find and afford child care for that extra day off. Student achievement research has mixed results, but some studies show a negative impact on academic achievement, particularly for younger students in non rural areas. I don't know why non-rural area. Okay. Food insecurity. You had kind of touched on this. Students who rely on school-provided meals may miss out on those resources on the fifth day. And lastly, unsupervised time. The unstructured time on the fifth day could lead to unsupervised time for some students. Well, of course, they'd be at home. There's goods and there's bads. But first, before we kind of dissect that even more, let's get to the actual sign or veto question. Because again, school districts, they can entertain this. I think even Spooner at one point, the board talked about it, looked into it. I think a lot of schools have discussed it. But the actual question would be sign or veto, again, hypothetical bill, a bill requiring public schools to adopt a 4-day school schedule. So that means all Wisconsin schools are going to go to a 4-day schedule. Would you sign or veto that?
I think I would have to veto it.
Me too. Why would you?
Because of one of the things that you said. You said AI said that it gives teachers more time and space to do their work, right? Fridays without their kids, they could do more. But aren't we then asking them to do more work? Because they still have to work the full days Monday through Friday. So they're still working their 40. So they're still working their 40 hours, but I know they work more. And now we're giving them a whole day off. But the expectation is that they're still going to be, that's the time they're going to use to like grade papers.
So I don't know if they're like, I don't think they're required to go to school. Again, this was just it's just teachers may experience less burnout and have more time.
But I think every teacher that I know would use their Fridays as like a little reprieve and a little like being able to focus on lesson planning and grading papers. So I think that all of the wonderful teachers I know would end up working more because of it.
Interesting. Well, I'm a big fan of 4-day work weeks for like life. I would veto it. First of all, kind of similar to why I would want to veto the other one, where I just don't think I don't think the state should be making that decision for every school district. That should be up to each individual school district, whatever they think is best. Talk to the community, put out a survey, which a lot of these school districts do. But that should be left up to them. I could see the goods and the bads to this. So anyway, that's why I would veto it, because the state shouldn't be deciding that.
Right.
It would be good or bad. Yeah, there's positives, and I think for some people this would be great, and other people it wouldn't be.
Yeah. We could make it happen. There's also the reality that, like, do you remember? Of course, you remember. It's so stupid. Do you remember COVID, Ben?
Yeah, I do.
But like, our kids got their work done. Like, my Jackson got his work done in 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
right?
Kenneth, like he can do it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we even discussed after all this stuff happened. By the way, I'm sorry to inject, but even after all this happened, I even told Kenneth that if you don't want to go back to school again, you don't have to. Like, we will literally homeschool you, and you can get this all done, and then you can just get a job or do something else. And he decided not to. We gave that option to both Kenneth and Riley. Riley wanted to keep going to the school, and because some people just do better when they're in that environment. Not that Riley wasn't, but she likes being in the environment and being able to talk directly to the teachers one-on-one. Where Kenneth, he's like, school's stupid. Now, he gets straight A's, but he's like, frickin' school. At the same time, he understands the social impact that school has. So he's at least aware of it. But in a weird way, I'm like, okay, this isn't that hard. Now, every teacher's going to hate me for saying that. I think that is I don't know why people are teachers. I would never want to be a teacher. That'd be terrible. I would be a terrible teacher. But yeah, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, I think what was really important is that we clarify that that's like the hard paperwork. That's the measurement of an education, right? But like, so many intangibles go into an education. So like, Henry comes home and tells me his favorite part of kindergarten is his dance breaks. And like, I just love that there's like a room full of 5-year-olds dancing, and none of them have any issues, like they're not self-conscious about, like they're teaching them to be silly and be silly together.
Well,
and like,
some of them should have a little bit of self-conscious and awareness.
See Henry dance. But like, I absolutely know that there are intangibles that go into a public school education, and I love and support that. But couldn't we then just keep our maybe just reduce that a little bit and keep the 4 days and it's just the same time, the same instructional time. I don't know. I hope there's a smart
I
teacher.
think you have to hit like 1,080 hours or something like that of instructional time, or maybe just school. I'm not
Sure.
really sure. I can't remember how that works. But well, listen. I mean, we can't take away more time, like in total. I don't think that's the answer. I mean, look at our reading and our math scores. It's already like tanking. I don't think
Yeah.
the answer is more time out of classroom instructions. But yeah,
I
it'd
don't
be
know.
good, but maybe only if it kind of mirrored like an actual work schedule for people, because I can see a lot of issues there too. I don't know. Again, I think that would be something up to the local school districts.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be interested in seeing it, but I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the answer.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm on the same page with you. A 4 day work week would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
But
All
we
right.
own our businesses, so we have 7 day work weeks.
So only left that was on that I
Yeah.
want to make sure we talked about was unpopular opinions. But is before we do that, is there anything else that you wanted to? I don't know. Any other
So,
headlines out there in the world that you wanted to talk about or discuss?
no, I mean the job numbers freak me out a little bit, I guess.
What were
We've
those?
lost we've lost like 1 million jobs this year. So they keep giving us like job reports and then other like let's say we like made or we gained 40,000 jobs and then in reality we lost like 32,000
You
jobs.
know, I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand that. Like, how do when it says we lost? How many did you say? 1 million? You said?
Yeah, 1 million this year, just over a million.
Like, what do you mean lost? Like, people just don't do those jobs, or does that mean there's 1 million job openings, or they've just eliminated those
It's,
positions?
it's likely a combination. But like
Mm-mm.
I'll say for my part, like business has been hard this year, really hard. People are
Mm.
not spending money. People are not paying. I say people, businesses. Um, I've talked to you about like I've got a cash flow problem because people aren't paying their invoices on time anymore. Like it's been really hard, and I'm doing everything in my power to not have any layoffs at my business, right?
Well, if
And
you need a heavy for 20% of the return, I'll go out and break some legs, and I'll
you
get you the
should meet
money.
Cassie. Cassie, my second half at North of Eight, she is my heavy. She's got this. She's the sweetest person, but better pay your bill.
You better pay your bill.
Yes, yeah. So I've noticed it's hard, and there, and it's a real thing. Like in the back of my mind is I haven't gotten a paycheck from my business since July, so that I can keep paying my staff. Like it's a
Hmm.
real thing. So I see these job numbers, and it's not. I wouldn't call it validation, right? But it's like, oh, it's hard for a lot of people. It's not hard for just me right now, and that feels right.
I still don't understand it, to be honest. I mean, we hear these numbers, and then we hear the news people tell us why that's good or bad. But
Hmm.
I don't really understand. I mean, how does my life? And this isn't rhetorical. It's a sincere question, a genuine question.
Hmm.
If we add 100,000, I'm just making this number, 100,000 jobs this month, or we in the country, or we lose 100,000 jobs, which again I still don't understand. Does that mean they just don't work there anymore and they're unemployed, or do we eliminate positions? I don't even understand that. Like, what does that mean for like me, or for
Yeah.
the average person? Does that mean, well, boy, if you see those numbers go up, that means it hurts the stock market? Okay, I can understand that now. Does that mean food prices go up even more, or do they go down? Like, what does it actually mean in real life for you and I, and Mike Schaefer and Renee Hewitt and Richard? What does that mean for us
Yeah.
if it goes up or down? They say it's good or bad. I mean, obviously it goes up. I mean, we want more people doing it, I guess, right? Duh. But what
More
does it
people in
actually
the
mean?
workforce.
How does it really affect me in my life? I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's economic participation in all of the ways that trickles down. Do you get the like? Do you have to do the surveys? Like I have to do like 2 surveys a month
What for what?
from OMB, and there was another one I got about my workforce. Like I fill out a survey. It probably takes like 15 minutes of like, how many people do you have working? What is their average salary? Well, how do you feel about the economy? Do you think your
No.
workforce is going to grow or like I just had to do one of those like yesterday or the day before.
What do you mean have to?
Well, I don't what I know is like I've tried to ignore them in the past and then I'll get like follow-up emails.
I think I received one of those a long time ago. It was in an email, and I blocked the sender because I'm like, I'm not doing anything freaking
Oh,
that.
you
So
should
that's
do
probably
it.
why I don't get them anymore. It probably always goes into my trash.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a good way to to give people a little bit of insight into running a
Well,
business in
you
Northwest
gotta
Wisconsin.
understand. Anytime I do a survey, I lie about everything because I like
Ben,
screwing up the survey. I'm not kidding. It's
as a
every
marketer,
single one.
I am
I will do
so
everything.
itchy.
It's great.
You can't do that.
I do
People
every
take
single
those
time.
numbers and they
Every
make.
survey I've ever taken, I just go on my way to just make the most extreme.
You are a
Yeah,
monster.
yeah.
This is
It's just funny. Polls
Pete.
are stupid. Surveys are stupid. Who cares? So I just like screwing with them.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Oh
you should
my
put out
god.
a
I
survey.
don't
I'll
know
take
what.
it.
Oh my god. I am like I am sweating right now. My whole business of marketing is based on data, and you're over here
Yeah, screwed it all up.
just peeing in the water.
I know it. It's the little
Oh,
things in life that just put a smile on my face.
oh my gosh.
All
Okay, so
right,
besides that disgusting thing, what's your unpopular opinion?
my unpopular opinion is so. Our unpopular opinions, by the way, are basically things that like infuriate us, and they
Mhm.
probably shouldn't in the big scheme of things,
Yeah.
but just little things. Mine is the word of the year publication should be one word and also, an actual word. So you saw like a month ago, I think I wrote this down. Dictionary.com chose 6-7 as its 2025 word of the year. Okay, not a word. So
Not a word.
that's stupid.
Number one.
That's number one. And then just yesterday, Oxford University Press has named rage bait as its word of the year. That's two words.
That's
So
two words.
one is numbers, and the other one is two words. By the way, if you're wondering, rage bait refers to an online content that is deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, or offensive with the aim of driving traffic to a particular social media account. But that's my unpopular opinion. We need to change the name of word of the year. Either have it being a word and one word,
Mhm.
or let's just change what it's called, like phrase or saying of the year. You can't
If you
call it word of the
hyphen,
year when you don't use a word.
if you add a hyphen, is that one word?
I think, well, it would be, yeah, but it's
Okay.
not.
I know. So then that would be the workaround.
Right. It's
Um,
two words, and the other one's numbers. That's stupid.
we were at lunch a couple weeks ago, and Henry's 5, and I don't know, he just likes to go 6, 7, and I don't. It probably comes from his cousin, and it's just funny. And this little girl, probably same age, at the table next to us, looks over and just does this. 6, 7. Like it's like an inside joke, and I haven't been able to figure out. I don't think it means anything.
It doesn't. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's what it
But
means.
like,
Nothing.
are our kids playing like this elaborate joke on us? That's what I want to know.
No, they're not that smart.
I like your unpopular opinion. I agree. I think it's rooted in indisputable fact. The
Right.
number
Come
is
on.
not.
It doesn't make any logical sense. What is your unpopular opinion or the thing that is infuriating to you?
My unpopular opinion, although it might be more popular than I think, is that Mariah Carey "All I Want for Christmas" song
Hmm.
is the worst thing to ever happen to humanity.
Really?
It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's been what, like 2 decades of this song,
Yeah.
and it's just over and over and over again. And all I want for Christmas is for that song to disappear. There are
I,
so many good ones.
I like the first time I hear it for Christmas when music is on, and then I'm good. Like then I'm good for another year. Like I can hear it once, no problem. But I think the problem is it's played on every station, everywhere, no matter what you listen to. Any YouTube mix of Christmas music, you just turn on some music
Mhm.
or on wherever it's on everyone's playlist. Like one time is fine a year, maybe twice or once a week I hear it, but you hear it 10 times a day. I think
I know.
that's what it is.
The worst part is that now it's getting old. So like I had like a vintage Christmas like playlist on, and
That's what I mean. It's on every list. You can't
it's the worst.
populate a
Anyway,
Christmas list with it not being on it.
I know, and I just don't like. No shade, Mariah Carey. Like, I hope you make money every time that song is played because you'd be the richest woman on the planet.
Leapers. All right, that's a good one. Okay, well, that's all we had.
Yeah, easy
What do you got going on
squeezy.
for Christmas? What are your Christmas plans?
We have to host, and we just are moving into. We redid our upstairs, so I have to like finish. Like, there's no fan right there in that hole in the ceiling. So
Oh yeah, I see it.
we got some work to do, but we're gonna host, and we're gonna have an ugly Christmas sweater contest. Make cookies. What are you doing?
Are any of them? Aren't they all kind of ugly?
This one is not
I mean, kind of,
great.
but it's awesome. But I mean, it's great. But I mean, I'm just saying, in general, if it wasn't Christmas, nobody would wear these because they're ugly. All
Okay,
Christmas sweaters are ugly.
but real talk, that is an unpopular opinion. I wear this all year long.
Do you really?
Because I work from home and it's so comfortable. Ask my husband.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. But what are you doing?
I don't know. We haven't figured it out yet. Family, as always,
Yeah.
and it's my birthday on Christmas, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
We could
I was sure.
talk about it.
By the way, when I wrote our exit thing here, I was announcing when our next show is going to be was January 1st. Are we doing a show on January 1st, New Year's Day? That's the first Thursday of January.
I mean, I'm up for it, but only if we can both commit to being extremely hungover.
I'll see if I can work. Well, but if I'm not, maybe some champagne during the show.
Oh, morning champagne.
Nobody, mimosas. Morning mimosas.
Excellent. I love it. We'll decide. It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Emily, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Good to talk to you.
As always, agreed. For Emily Gall, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching That's Debatable with Ben and Emily. Emily and I will be back next month for another exciting episode of That's Debatable on Thursday, January 1st, 2026. So I guess I'll see you next year. We do these shows the first Thursday of every month. As for me, I'll see all of you in 1 week from today, Thursday, December 11th at 8:30 a.m. when I'll be hosting our monthly chat with Wisconsin's 7th Congressional District Representative Congressman Tom Tiffany, who joins us on the second Thursday of every month. So until then, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.